One thing that's cool about having a tiny channel is that I can experiment with different subjects and genres without getting in too much shit for it. If it ends up doing decent numbers, I gets exposure for talking about a series I likes, which ain't anything to complain about. If it goes to shit, then it's no harm done. Worst case scenario is the video flops and gets 30 something views and I moves on to something just as obscure. But honestly, I've got a good bit of history with this series. For those of you that aren't aware, Sunrider is a strategy and visual novel series from the San Diego based company Love in Space. And more importantly, these games proudly feature tits of all sizes, but hopefully not all ages. Like I could do without a SWAT team on my ass, all I'm saying. I've been playing these games since I was 12, so you knows my childhood was gone to shit. But believe it or not, I wasn't even horny back in those days. I was too stupid and too stunned to realise that I was playing the censored versions of these games. So while most other reviewers on this site, creepballs, would probably focus on the sex appeal or whatever, I honestly cares a lot more for the stories and the characters of these games. Yeah, I should also tell you that I only read Playboy for the articles. Load of shit. Today, I'm going to be going through the first game, and in a week or two I'll go over the next one. Go figure. I won't waste any more of your time though. Let me tell you about Sunrider First Arrival and Sunrider Mask of Arcadius.
No one's ready to deal with us.
Sunrider started off as a Kickstarter in December 2013 with low expectations across the board, kinda like my YouTube videos. The funding goal was $3,000 and the boys made 44. 1,217 backers brought this shit to life, so there had to be something special about this game. After all, the tits might get you the attention, but the rest of you is what gets you the acclaim. Let's find out what's on the go.
No one's ready to deal with us.
Our story starts off with a friendly reminder that aliens ain't shit. Humans got the whole galaxy subjugated, and mankind cemented itself as the dominant species throughout the universe. But it ain't all best kind. Everyone around here hates each other, and conflict starts to pick up in the northern part of the galaxy. The People's Alliance for Common Treatment, PACT for short, just got done overthrowing the once powerful New Empire. The New Empire might have been arseholes, but PACT wasn't exactly on the Gandhi train either. After the revolution, the supreme leader of PACT, known as Venusaur S. Arcadius, starts up a devoted nationalist movement against the Solar Alliance, a nation with freedom, democracy, and all that other bullshit. Anyways, Arcadius believed that the Alliance was corrupt from the ground up, and the neutral rim of planets were either puppets of the Alliance or oppressed by goofballs and corrupt governments. PACT started an invasion on the neutral rim, and succeeded in conquering half of it by 503 in the game's timeline. With all that backstory out of the way, I'm going to tell you why I ain't going to give out any more information on this story other than the characters in it. This is a game that's really close to me heart, and I honestly believe that this story is something that you gotta experience for yourself. The game's free on Steam and GOG, and you could probably get it on GitHub too, to be honest, so there ain't much of an excuse not to give it a go. Spoiling this story would be disrespect up the arse, so let's have a look at the characters. Voiced by Jonathan Cook, known as the star of Yo Mama and Shakespeare, this buddy's pretty junk if I'm being honest. In the first two games, Buddy's character doesn't really do much. He's stone-faced, pretty serious, and a bit shy sometimes. He has a good bit of history with Sarah, a national planet where shit hits the fan, but I won't spoil it for you. He's a decent character I suppose, but nothing special. Voiced by the star of MapleStory, Amber Lee Connors, we got a character I don't even mind too much. Ava's backstory with the main buddy is sick, and her character develops a good bit throughout the game. You get to know her relationship with Kato, why she signed up to the Space Force, and why her background leads her to take shit so seriously. Her story's told well, and I'd probably call it one of the highlights of the game. So good job boys, you made a deadly old character. A+ for Ali. This missus is nuts. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was a youngster, this missus got on me nerves, bad. I thought all the jokes she made were burnt, I got annoyed whenever missus had a line, and honestly I just wasn't feeling the character back. Looking back, I suppose she ain't too bad. Towards the mid-game, she actually gets a half-decent backstory, so if my younger self wasn't so horny, which I know contradicts everything I said in the beginning, but fuck it, I probably wouldn't have appreciated it more. Like, it's a decent old character, I guess Asaga's pretty cool, moving on. Now when I was a kid, I thought this character was deadly, no debate. You knows it was over something burnt too, don't even worry. Purple in any fucking shade of it is my favourite colour, and lo and behold, Mrs. got purple hair. I used to be a shy little shitbag, and this missus was just as antisocial. Missus wanted to be a baker, and by 13 I was cooking pizza packets like a pro. Match made in heaven if you ask me. Besides, not like the missuses in my neighbourhood were giving me much. Like, no offense, but if you're from my neighbourhood and you're a missus, you're kind of a fucking dog, I'm sorry. 6 years later, and the character's alright I suppose. Nothing too special in these games, but in Liberation Day shit picks up a fucking lot. Honestly, but I don't want to keep saying it, so I'll just tell you that Liberation Day pretty much stamps on this game in damn near every aspect. Characters are better, music's way better, art's deadlier, fucking kitchen sink pretty much. But foundations are always best kind, and you gotta remember that. Next character, man. I honestly ain't got a fucking clue why, but I'm only just now noticing that this character exists. I'm probably just drinking too much again, but I swear to you, I don't remember this character doing a thing when I first played these games. It's one of my favourite characters in the game now, but fuck. Next up, we got the best character in all of media. I'm fucking around, but my penis would probably vouch for it. The case is closed, boys. Clad's the best character in Sunrider for obvious reasons. Mrs. is pretty much everything I needs in a woman, and I'll list off these perks for you now. First off, she's a slut, which is the second best compliment I could ever give to a woman. The best compliment will be that she apparently smells amazing. That might not sound like a big deal, but let me tell you something right now. I got a fear of boys that don't got any personal hygiene to them. I think it's called stankophobia. So if you don't smell good, we ain't friends. That's just how it rolls back. Third reason is that Mrs. got a set of tits on her in case you didn't notice. Which means I won't even need to waste money on no fucking pillows with these goddamn things. And lastly, Mrs. is retarded, so it makes my stupidity look half decent. All in all, easily the best character in the fucking series, no debate on that.
No one's ready to deal with us.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escape.
No one's ready to deal with us.
We got another deadly character on the go, and it got everything to do with the backstory. It's busting me fucking balls not to be able to spoil the game for you, but it's well worth it if it gets a few to play it. Besides that though, Mrs. is a sniper, which means she's not only cool as shit, but also Leaf Carlo's go-to whenever combat's on the go. Speaking of that, let me tell you a bit about combat in this game. I might as fucking well ba.
No one's ready to deal with us.
To be legit with Ali, this game's gonna kick your arse inside out if you goes in expecting nothing but tits and text. So if you wants to do halfway decent at the combat without lowering the difficulty like a pussy, or like me, I'll help you out. First things first, lasers are your best friend. Whenever you got enough loot, upgrade the damage, the accuracy, and the energy cost of these fucking things. Believe me. They does a shit ton of damage, and most enemies don't resist it too much. But if it gets to a point where lasers are useless, you got a few other options. Missiles are deadly if they aren't intercepted by half the enemy fleet, which happens to me 90% of the fucking time, and the kinetic does a fair bit of damage if you upgrade its accuracy. But there's one weapon that shits on everything in its path, and I don't gotta say much else.
This is my command. Prepare to fire the Vanguard cannon. Vanguards, fire.
The Vanguard cannon is overpowered as fuck, and I wouldn't want it any other way. It's a fucking beauty of a weapon, and it wipes out damn near every ship in your path. Only shitty thing is that it costs command points, which could lead to you being forced into making shit decisions or other minor gameplay events like that. Other than those issues though, the Vanguard is actually fucking nuts. Like, I comes at the thought of it. Wait, what?
No one's ready to deal with us.
Overall, this game might not be as sick as I remember it being, but it still don't change the fact that it's a solid game. The characters got all their charms, even if some of them still needs a bit more development. The story is excellent, and even though I couldn't spoil most of it, I really recommend you to play through the game or read the novelization to experience it yourself. Like, I promise you it'll be worth it. And lastly, the combat might be a little empty, but the Vanguard cannon alone makes up for it bad. Show a missus that cutscene and you're guaranteed a sex machine for the night. I'd give this game 3.5 stars out of 5. With a bit more development and some improved combat, you got a fucking classic. Thank God for Liberation Day, but the story still holds up, and I recommend this game to all the fans of big tits and explosions out there. If you don't like either of the two, that's fine. You confuses me, but it's best kind I suppose. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at the game's first spin-off, Sunrider Academy. But I gotta milk views out of you, so that's all I'm going to say for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to stay tuned for more in the future. This has been Leaf Carlo, and I'll see you on the right side of the rock. Have a good one.